Roland today. We people Roland today na the 21st of December 2022. It's first in the morning, early in the morning. We get a knock, we come out to a council with in a gate, and we come out and see this man. I do most of the empirical things here, so for project writers. Good morning, how are you? For project writers, NGO workers, and even the government. This is the man we on a wheelchair. He come up far away this morning for seek out Usamide. We can talk about it. How
guys, let's come discuss a few of these things, guys. Of course, welcome everybody again as soon as they come. I'm going to let this video play, but I just want to say hello to everybody first of all. It's a little bit, rainy out here today. I just came. I'm like, I can't, go without just talking about these things. So I have a couple of things I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share, I'm going to talk about Parliament. I listened to an AYV discussion that they recently had with, Honorable Tawa, who's, of course, representing the SLPP at the Western area. And I like some of the, I love some of the very factual and honest opinions and, conversation and points that he made. So I want to discuss that with you guys. And, of course, this is Honorable Tawa represents the SLPP. And giving the terrible performance of the SLPP in 4 years, definitely, I don't think Honorable Tawa should come back to Parliament. He should not win his parliamentary seat in the western area of Freetown. I think it's about time we kick these guys out. But on the premise of this interview, I'm going to give him the credit, for bringing out some of these very, very factual points in this conversation with AYV. And I want to share with you so we can analyze this. You see, because, guys, we're getting to the point where elections are around the corner. And everything that I've been saying to you guys, all the points that I've been making. Welcome, my brother. Welcome, Abdul. Welcome, everybody. When I call out Parliament, I don't call them because I'm looking for attention. I don't call them out because I love them so much. Or if anything, the reason why I'm calling out Parliament is because we believe that what we need in Sierra Leone is strong institutions. And the reason why we have all the problems that we have in Sierra Leone today, Marabio did not destroy Sierra Leone by himself. If we had an effective opposition, Marabio would not have done all the things that he did. When you talk about the massacres, the corruption, I mean, the African Express has been laying, the evidences for these members of Parliament, especially at the leadership level, right? And that is what I want you guys to see. But before I even start playing, this, point that, as you can see, this AYV conversation with Honorable Tawa and, one of the other, and also one of the, journalist guy, Cyril Smith, something, I'll come to that. I think Thomas Dixon. Thomas Dixon. But I might not show much of Thomas Dixon's. If you go on AYV, their thing, you'll be able to see it there. But really, what I want to show you guys is to understand the reason why we've been calling out the parliaments the whole time. Every one of you guys, we have a responsibility to call out our leaders. If anything, that is what I want Sierra Leoneans to understand, that we have a moral responsibility to hold these leaders accountable. If Sierra Leone is going to go, anywhere at all, when you compare Sierra Leone today to the Dubais, right, the Singapores, going back to history and everything, if Sierra Leone is going to ever make progress, what we need to do is to hold our leaders accountable. People that are in positions of authority that are tasked with the responsibility of fixing Sierra Leone should take their jobs very seriously. And that is why we've been calling out Parliament. So I'm going to let you guys listen to this debate. But before I play this, I want you guys to at least let's go back to this video and listen to Brother Roland. All of you guys know Dr. Roland, right? Every one of you guys know Dr. Roland. So I'm going to let this video play. And I want to let you guys see the pressure. And all of these things goes back to Parliament, the responsibility of Parliament, right? Parliamentarians are not responsible to individually take care of every citizen. It is more of like a collective effort, where members of Parliament should ensure that the resources are directed to the people, right? Member of Parliament should not be taking money out of their pocket, their salary, to help citizens. No, the resources, the budget. Every year we get budget. For 4 years, they've not debated the budget. the audit report, right? But they would debate the budget, but not the audit report for 4 years. But every member of parliament should ensure that the citizens of Sierra Leone, when you look at section 7, 8 and 9, it talks about social objectives, economic objectives, educational objectives, all of these, right? Members of parliament are supposed to direct these resources to the people. So listen to this video of Dr. Roland, and then I'll take it from there and discuss this issue with parliament, and then, we go. So thank you, Usman. Thank you, Samura. Thank you, every one of you guys, for joining me. Make sure you go ahead and share the live. Guys, I know I don't come here to do comedy, so sometimes maybe it's not so interesting. And that is the problem with Sierra Leone and Africa, and not only Africa, but the world that we're living in. The amount of people really pay attention to these important issues, is so minute compared to folks that are every time all they think about is comedy, fun, right? TikTok, 2 seconds, 20 seconds video, 10 seconds video. That's all that intrigues them. These issues that are actually plaguing Sierra Leone, that is causing the demise of our nation, where we see the sufferings of our people, poor healthcare, no proper electricity, right? No water. People are suffering like animals in Africa, in Sierra Leone. Again, we see it all the time, right? And I will show you some of those. But let me play this video. You guys will listen to this. Let's listen to Brother Roland. Of course, Dr. Roland is based around the McKinney area. Listen to what he's doing for Sierra Leoneans to help our people. All right, guys? So let's go ahead and share the live. I'm going to play this video. You guys can watch this video and see. And this is just one of many. This man is helping people every day. But let me just showcase him before I start the live itself. Listen to this video. It's about 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Listen to this.
Roland, today, the 21st of December, 2022. It's first in the morning, early in the morning. We get a knock, we come out to a council with in a gate, and we come out, I see this man. I do most of the empirical things here, so for project writers. Good morning, how are you? For project writers, NGO workers, and even the government. This is a man we on a wheelchair. He come up far away this morning for seek out Usamide. We can talk about a health problem. So the money you want, and health. This could able help for make the government try to put a system in place. People that are disabled, we will get insurance, health insurance, where the government will cater for in every hospital around the country. We decided they will go for the health problems or medical treatment, and the government foot the bill. So otherwise, a poor man like this, good morning, it may result to anything but a beggar on the street. For in survival, that's one some people eat, and also in health. Now more listen to Ram. But what's your name? Who saw you come out?
Mama Oslo camp.
And it's very far away from here. Very, very, very far. How much you pay for Canada?
All 12,000.
12,000 years. What happened? What thing is you Canada?
With Canada one, so while just so you get wheelchair.
You don't get wheelchair. Wheelchair don't do. So you want wheelchair?
Wheelchair.
And what again?
See back making a happy for this problem on your side.
So you feel the signs of hernia. Signs of hernia. You see, it can drop on once in a while. And also the wheelchair. Now this is they use for move around and for making living. And then if you don't get help, I either go out in the street for big. Maybe people will get for come together and help Sierra Leoneans, especially the real needy people like this man. The real needy. Imagine this first in the morning, so you don't left in place early in the morning for seek me out. Make we come together and find a health system in place in this nation. I will discuss with them what next. That's it. People,
Sierra Leoneans, this is sad for a nation. But I'm going to come show you and point to you guys exactly the problem that we have and why we are dealing with these issues. It is because we have sets of folks that should be representing the people that fail to represent the people. Guys, that is the fundamental problem that we have in Sierra Leone. I'm going to show you guys this conversation on AYV with Honorable Tawa, So you guys can see exactly what it is, what the fundamental problem is in Sierra Leone. It is because we have leaders that are useless. Basically, they are absolutely useless. They don't understand the issues of the problem, and even if they understand, because of corruption and the people don't know what their basic fundamental rights are, is why the people are suffering like this in Sierra Leone. People like Dr. Roland left overseas, go to Sierra Leone, go sit down there just to assist and help citizens. Them. This man has helped thousands of citizens, and thank you to Dr. Roland for what he's doing in Sierra Leone and helping citizens. Hernia surgeries, thousands upon thousands of people that he has helped by himself with some of the support sometimes that the diaspora gives. This man has been doing a phenomenal work, but I'm going to tell you guys and show you guys, listen to this conversation, everybody. I want you guys to pay attention to this conversation and see why these people, like this pa, when they wake early morning, go sit down, look at a wheelchair day. You get for go to Roland, and not go to a member of parliament, or you not go to the government, the Ministry of Health, or you not go to a local council, or you go to a private citizen. Somebody way no more say, this man helps citizens. Roland is a citizen of the United Kingdom. They can come to the United Kingdom and come sit down. This man has a PhD holder, but he said, no, you know what? I'm going to stay in Sierra Leone. I'm going to help my people because they need these helps. And guys, that is why I do what I do here to propagate these stories so people would listen. In a responsible democracy, what I do is what governments need. In a serious democracy, what they do is say, okay, let's take from what this guy is saying, from these things that he's pointing out, pointing at us, the blind spot, because we all have a blind spot. And governments have a responsibility to listen to the citizen, because that is the fundamental definition of democracy itself. Democracy is the power of the people, right? You talk about democracy, power of the people, for the people, and by the people. That is the essence of democracy. The people speak, you listen. The people speak, you hear their aspirations, you hear their needs, their desires. What the people want is what government should do. Citizens are suffering today in Sierra Leone. Why? Because we have negligent leaders. And again, like I always say, Marabio did not destroy Sierra Leone by himself within his past 4 years. Almost 5 years coming. He had the help of the opposition. They helped him to destroy Sierra Leone. And that is why, if we're going to remove Marabio, we want everybody to play their role. The opposition, every one of these guys should play their own role. Lead us in this fight. They should be the ones, like, you know the story of, John, who recently passed in the United States. This was the man that led the Selma Bridge March back in the 1960s with Dr. Martin Luther King and all these other people, holding their hands together, marching in front of the people. Members of parliament should take this role, especially the opposition, at the leadership level. And that is why civic education is big for me, because until the people understand that the leaders of the opposition should be the ones that should lead them in this fight, we're not going anywhere. But let me begin this conversation, because I want you guys to listen to this. This is Honorable Tawa. I want you guys to listen to this, and let's have this conversation together, guys.
Which was not granted.
Which was
Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I muted my mic here, and I said all the stuff that I said, and none of that stayed with you guys. I'm so sorry. My apologies, guys. But what I was saying, I'm going to recap that. I'm so sorry. I'm going to recap that. I know you can hear me now, right? I'm going to recap that. What I was saying is the first statement that Honorable Tawa made was absolutely incorrect. It was not correct to say that, because he's a member of the ruling government, therefore, he's the only one that has, come to parliament and challenge them to the fact that they should bring the Auditors General reports to debate. No, it does not matter. Because during the days of APC, former President Nkrumah, the Auditors General report was debated. Right? Every year was debated. SLPP used that to campaign. They run all over the place talking about the Auditor General report. So therefore, it doesn't matter at this particular point in time if the opposition that they bring and come up to the Wall of Parliament, Honorable Tawa from the SLPP, because he belongs to the SLPP, this gentleman belongs to the SLPP. It does not really matter. The Auditor General report should be debated. It is a constitutional duty of members of Parliament to debate the Auditor General report. You cannot debate you cannot be debating the budget every year, but the Auditor General report, you debate them. I mean, we are going to hold all of these people accountable for failing to perform their constitutional duty. And as it said in section 108 of the Constitution, they have a responsibility, for make sure they perform the duties of the Constitution. It is their responsibility. Nobody for tamper with the Constitution. And what they're doing, not debating the Constitution, is tampering with the Constitution, because again, they're going against the dictates of the Constitution. So that statement that he made earlier there, which I'm sorry again, there was no sound, it's the fact that that's what I was trying to explain. But let's continue with the conversation. I want you guys to hear this.
Supported the process from the leadership point of view. Don't forget, you have Kande who also supported the Honorable Kande Kola.
Right there. I want you guys to listen. And he's saying the fact. When he actually called for the debating of the Auditors General report, the opposition, where were they? Where were the leaders of the opposition? What he's saying is absolutely correct. Because at that material time, if the opposition had stood their ground, to say we're going to debate this Auditor General report, regardless. We're not even going to talk about the budget. We are going to debate this because it is a constitutional provision that should be met. It is a duty of members of Parliament to debate it. Let's listen together.
The motion was moved. I moved the motion in 2018, 2019. After a lot of tussle, after a lot of back and forth, it was after I have gone through a committee on ethics in Parliament. Moved to the back. That was when people in the opposition saw it as a political weapon to use to come now and say, okay, let's move this motion. Let the motion be debated. It is good, fine and good, because it's a constitutional provision. But what measures, what actions have they taken to ensure that this thing happen? With regards to
guys,
report,
I think I figured out what it is. I'm so terribly sorry.
I've not seen an audit report for 2021 taken to Parliament.
This is why I need I need somebody to help me, with that. But anyways, I think I got everything fixed now. Sound is very low. Backy Barry, thank you so much. Your sound is echoing. No sound, please. Okay. Abdul Kagbo, I'm sorry again, my brother. Okay, let's start from the top right here, guys. Let's see.
For zero interest, no, we are paying 22% interest out of that 150 million that was given to us. And the other thing is, I said it made a lot of, some were facts, right? Some were maybe misunderstood. The issue of the audit report, history could hold it, and history would have it, that this is the 5th parliament in the Second Republic. It is only this parliament that we have seen a member of parliament in the ruling party asking for the fulfillment of a constitution.
Guys, before I say anything there, let me check first of all with you guys. Somebody give me a thumbs up that the sound is good now. As far as the echo, may we have to play music, and I don't want to stop her for enjoying music today. If you feel for listen music and enjoy, and it's kind of giving a echo radios because of the sound system. The woofer is very heavy, but I don't want to disturb her. So, but somebody give me a thumbs up. Good. All right, looks like sound is good now, right? So let me continue, guys. We'll take this from the top. I'm so sorry about the sound wahala. You know, I'm very big on sound, by the way, as you guys can tell. I like good sound, so I can imagine what you guys are going through when there's no sound. It's very painful. My apologies there. But yeah, I'm sure the sound is good now. Everybody, correct? Somebody just type in real quick, please. Just type in Lano say the sound good. Somebody just type in say the sound is good before I continue. Samura, thank you, my brother. Thank you. All right, so let's continue. Let's play this. I want you guys to listen to this. This Honorable Tawa. Let's listen to it because I want to understand. If you just join me, when you go back and start from the top, you'll understand exactly where I'm at. But this is Honorable Tawa in Parliament talking about exposing the fact that everything we've been saying about the leadership, especially of the opposition, because Marabi not Puel Salon by himself, because it get the help of the opposition, especially the leaders of the opposition that were supposed to stand up and stop the foolishness. They failed and derelicted the duties. Whatever it was, we don't know. But that is what I want you guys to listen to. I want you guys to listen to this.
It was not granted because the parliament is not only made up of the party asking for the fulfillment. It is only this parliament that we have seen a member of parliament in the ruling party asking for the fulfillment of a constitutional provision.
Which was not granted.
Which was, well, because it was not granted because the parliament.
So, like I said earlier on, I already broke down this whole fact, and I'm sorry there was no sound. But what he's saying there is not absolutely correct. It does not matter at this particular point in time that he is a member of the ruling government when the only person we call for the debating of the Auditor's General report, right? It don't matter. The fact is, during the days of APC and former President Kuruma, they were actually debating the Auditor's General report. So, again, it is the responsibility of Parliament. So it don't matter if Naim, it belongs to the SLPP, the ruling government, but decide for call for debating the Auditor's General report. It's important, but it does not really matter because, as a matter of fact, it is a constitutional duty where we for they do, regardless of whose political party you belong to, who's part of the aisle in the Parliament. It is a responsibility of Parliament to debate the Auditor's General report. This same Parliament don't pass budget after budget every year, but they've not been able to debate the Auditor General report. That is absolutely a crime there in itself, and that is what we want to point out to you guys. And we're going to hold all of these people accountable when the time is right, because they failed to perform a constitutional duty that they are tasked with. And the people of Sierra Leone should have justice, and they should get answers. Why they not debate the Auditor General report for 5 years? It should. We're not for left-hand things say go unchecked. And everybody we're responsible, from the ruling government to the opposition leaders, every one of these guys should pay for this. We're not for let this go unchecked. And this is some of the things we'll echo for a very long time to come until we get answers, because we see they don't respect the people of Sierra Leone. But let's continue. We're talking about the Auditor General report and the role of Parliament. I want you guys to listen to this. Listen to this.
Parliament is not only made up of the ruling party. The Parliament is made up of both the ruling party and the opposition. And the opposition supported the process. From the leadership point of view. Don't forget...
You have Kande who also supported the Honorable Kande Koleyum Kela.
The Honorable Kande Koleyum Kela, the motion was moved. I moved the motion in 2018, 2019. After a lot of tussle, after a lot of back and forth, it was after I have gone through a committee on ethics in Parliament, and I've been moved to the back. That was when people in the opposition saw it as a political weapon to use to come now and say, okay, let's move this motion. Let the motion be debated. It is good, fine and good.
And that is a fact. And that is a shame. Because at the time when this guy actually called out his own political party, again, he belongs to the SLPP. At the time when he called out his own political party and say, you know what? I'm going to give him credit on that, right, for doing that. In as much as it's not really relevant. It don't matter because, again, it should be debated. But Lord, give him credit to the fact that he actually came up as, belonging to the ruling party to say, hey guys, we have to debate the Auditor General report. And what did they do? The leaders of the opposition at that particular time, they left this guy a struggle within the SLPP. They even charged her with anti-party activities. That's where, these guys went on radio and TV saying anti-party activities don't drive out of the party. And again, don't forget, this guy, SLPP guy, this member of Parliament, is in the Western area. Of course, he's going to lose his seat in Parliament. He has to. He does not deserve to go back giving the poor performance of the SLPP. Therefore, he does not deserve to go back to Parliament. But on this alone, let's give him the credit. Say, call out your own political party and say, we for debate the Auditor General report. Let's give that to him, right? The fact is, at the time, the opposition at the leadership level did not capitalize and left this guy. It was tortured by his own political party. criminalized by his own political party, took him to the ethics committee, then charged her with anti-party activities. This guy belongs to the SLPP. At the time when the leaders of the opposition should have come together and put their foot down for debate the Auditor General report. Nothing happened. Listen to this. Let's continue.
Because it's a constitutional provision. But what measures, what actions have they taken to ensure that this thing happen? With regards to the audit report, I have not seen it yet. I have to be fair. I have not seen an audit report for 2021 taken to Parliament. Maybe it has, because I don't go to Parliament every day. I go to Parliament as and when I...
In this case, it's talking about the current audit report that just came out. When first of all, I must make very clear that we don't have an Auditor General in Sierra Leone, because the guy who's actually, acting in that capacity has not been approved by Parliament, and is not a certified public accountant, chartered accountant. So we don't have an Auditor General in Sierra Leone. That tells you a lot about the confidence. That is why investors don't come. So all this thing, President Bio recently was invited to the United States. President Joe Biden called all the leaders, most of the leaders in Africa, except for 4, to talk about business opportunities. But of course, Marabio and 6 other African leaders were actually called into a private meeting to warn them and caution them about the upcoming elections in their country, to promote democracy and all of that stuff. That was the only conversation they had in that meeting. I did a live on that the other day. But the fact of the matter remains, these guys, as we are seeing right now, as it is at this particular point in time, nothing has been done about the Auditor General report. But Sierra Leoneans, what we're saying to you guys, and I want you guys to understand this, people should be held accountable for their actions, regardless of what it is. These guys should not go unchecked. The crimes that they have committed should not go unchecked at this particular point in time. This is why when we had the TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, if we had abided by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, first of all, we never forget all of these MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies. 179 inside Sierra Leone. At this particular moment, more than 166 of those is, the directors are belonging to one tribe. 166 of those belong to one tribe, one ethnic group. Only Mende. When you look at what is happening, tribalism. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission made it clear that we should not have more than 30% when it comes to, one tribe should not have more than 30% in ministerial positions, MDAs and departments and all that stuff and agencies them. But that is what these guys are doing. But let's listen to this conversation from Honorable Tawa. I want you guys to see how reckless and useless the Parliament has become. Listen to this.
I have a business to do in Parliament.
The Audit Service issued a press statement telling us that they've
submitted to Parliament. And you look at the timing as well. If the report was submitted in the last 2 weeks, you would understand that it would be difficult to factor the audit, the audit report in the other paper.
Why is that?
Because we have been busy for the last 2 weeks with no parliamentary sitting, working in sub-appropriation committees, because the budget is with us. And the law owns it that when we are dealing with the budget, you don't bring any other item on the other paper.
Right there is the problem, guys. You are talking about the budget. Then you talk about budget. But are you going to give person money, the person go spend every year? The person can't tell you back how it passed with this money, like I explained. Which is why you have to debate the Auditor General report, because the Auditor General report talks about everything that was disbursed, the budget that was given. So now when they bring it to Parliament and table them, they can't discuss how we spend this money. You all remember last year, we talked about the President's office, double dipping, money laundering potential, double dipping, money laundering, and forging of receipts. You guys remember that. All of these should have been tabled and discussed in Parliament. You cannot be approving budget where you not discuss the Auditor General report from the previous year for explaining how they spend the money. So you see, this is the recklessness and the uselessness of the Parliament that we have. That is why I say again, we as citizens, we have a responsibility to ensure that we hold these guys accountable and responsible when the time is right for what they are doing to our constitution, bastardizing the constitution, derelict their duty them, not they perform their functions them. But now they talk about, say, well, the new Auditor General reports will not come, they're not going to discuss them because they talk about the budget. Can you see what I'm talking about? Guys, we're not making up this stuff when we talk now, yeah. Now they cannot talk about the Auditor General reports where we'll not get Auditor General. The report is going to be, it's a sham. But then they talk about budget. Because they're talking about the budget, they're not going to discuss the Auditor General report. Let's continue.
That's what the parliamentary standing order says. So,
and this is what the parliamentary standing order says. Their standing order nonsense. We're debating the budget. This is where the leaders of the opposition comes in. If the leaders of the opposition in APC, NGC, and this is for NGC supporters, una leader Kade Yumkela, APC Cherikoko, Honorable Cheno Majuba, if these leaders say, you know what, I am not going to discuss the Auditor General report on the new budget until we discuss the Auditor General report from last year, from 2018, 2019, 2020. I'm not going to talk about those budgets. Now the responsibility, Nandi. Say, I need to talk about this budget until we talk about the Auditor General report. That is the responsibility of Parliament. If these leaders in the opposition take their job seriously, that is what they do. But no, they don't take Salon people for granted. They don't say Salon people don't understand the intricate things there. They know the people don't understand these issues, so they're taking advantage of that fact and continue to be corrupt in Parliament and not take on these issues. I want any member of Parliament to challenge me in a public open forum. Come challenge me on these things that I talk about. I say it again. My platform is always open to anybody. If I call your name on my platform, it is open to you. Reach out to me and come debate me openly for the whole world to see. Let's talk about this. How can you be talking about a budget, but you've not debated your Auditor General report for 4 years? Tell me, how is that possible? How is that possible? In Ghana recently, we saw the members of the ruling government in Ghana call for the resignation and firing of the finance minister. And they threatened the government to say that if you don't fire this man, we are not going to debate the budget for next year. These members of Parliament get a responsibility for come now and explain these things to we people. Engage the people, get the people involved. Civic education is what is lacking in Sierra Leone. Now listen, let's continue.
It will be very challenging for us to leave the budget and say, okay, let's include the audit reports in the other paper. That is not the parliamentary process.
You hear that? That is not the parliamentary process. We for left, we not go left the budget for can talk about the Auditor General report. You give people the money, you know they can't ask them how they spend them. For 4 years, the Auditor General report was not debated. I want you to see and listen to the recklessness of this Parliament. I'm not using these words lightly, and I will use these words in front of these guys. But this is the kind of Parliament that we have. For 4 years, they don't debate Auditor General reports. Then sit down and fire the Auditor General. The president not even use due process. I don't want to go into all of that. But not even use due process, because for you finally go to the point set for suspending the Auditor General. Now Parliament get the final say. This same Parliament get the final say for fire the Auditor General. The president not the commander more fire the Auditor General. They go through the JLC committee. Then they come back, the justice system, the judge system. Then they come back and say the panel put together. Then they come back and say, okay, yes, we found something there. We have to go into investigations. At that point, it's when they would even say, you know, okay, let's suspend the Auditor General for now. But at this particular point, we all know the president did not do that. They not even set up the committee. The president just go ahead and then he say, okay, a committee go look into this. But the committee not even come back to we today to this point for tell we waiting at this thing I wouldn't find against the Auditor General Lara till appears for the fire. That's a conversation for another day. I get several videos on my Facebook page. You guys can go through and look and see everything that I've talked about that in detail. But today, let's focus on this conversation that Tawa is talking about now. I want you guys to see the uselessness of this Parliament. And like I said, I'm using these words precisely correctly because that is the only best term that I can use to describe this Parliament that we're talking about right now. Let's listen.
To say we are gladiators in suits, I can subscribe to a large extent.
Which can pass.
And what is responding to here is what Thomas Dixon said about, you know, gladiators in Parliament, the federal Nipan, instead of talking about ideas and all that stuff, right? So let's move this conversation a little bit forward.
Unique situation in Sierra Leone. The only thing that is different in Sierra Leone is that we do things that maybe goes beyond what happens in other countries. For example,
it's just talking about the fighting. Let's continue.
Drawn by the Honorable Jockey on a discussion. He himself didn't know that, he wasn't aware that somebody was throwing a missile from that point.
Again, it's just talking about the fighting in Parliament. Let's move forward.
Attention speakers, coaches,
because I want you guys to see these things that we're talking about. I want you guys to understand that when we call out the Parliament for what they're doing, it is no joke. Let's listen to this. Let's listen.
And they were targeting people. But it is not fair. That is unparliamentary, and that is not the ethics of Parliament. Now to oversight, generally. I think oversight in Section 93 is the most powerful tool Parliament has.
I want you guys to listen. I want you guys to listen to the responsibilities of Parliament. Parliament make laws. Section 105 of the Constitution, the 1991 Constitution, makes it very clear that Parliament is the supreme legislative authority. So that means they make laws. Parliament, 3 duties of Parliament: to make laws, oversight responsibility, and to represent. Representation. Those are the 3 fundamental responsibilities of Parliament. Let's listen to this conversation very critically about this oversight. I want you guys to listen to this.
With Dixon, and I would have to agree that yes, Parliament has been doing oversight, like you said. In 2018, the issue of Parliament receiving funds and not oversight were done. That is also an issue that I brought into the fore. It wasn't picked up by anybody. I saw it. I realized that monies were allocated in 2018, monies were allocated in 2019. But I know, I'm there, that we did not perform any oversight. So if for any reason oversight were not performed, it is either of 2 things. It is either the money should have been allocated to some other expenditure head,
Which is misappropriation.
which cannot be misappropriation.
We're going to get into that. We're going to get into this particular argument, and it's a valid point that Samuel Bangura is going to make right there. But let me just make this very clear. And again, this is for what they're saying about the responsibilities of Parliament. Oversight. These guys know the oversight. Oversight just means saying people for go check on ministries, departments, and agencies. For example, when you look at what's in the happen to we sisters them na Arab countries them, Sierra Leoneans in the Arab world, right, in Kuwait, in Dubai, all these places, Lebanon, that are suffering. They are being, they are used as slaves. And women are being used as sex slaves. Throw them into brothels. Men just come and sleep with them how they want. They're like piece of crap. And men, and boys, gallant young men and women in the prime of their lives, they're being abused as slaves in these Arab countries. All right, we see all of these things happening. Members of Parliament get a responsibility to go to the Ministry of Labor, as an example, oversight, to go check. Because again, the Ministry of Labor made it, an authentic business, because they're the ones who came and told us, people that, you can go to Dubai, go work there, there's, opportunities and this and that. Waiting and do that alone. Waiting and create like car wash for we people. Young boys, young women, them not get job opportunities. So this is what we're talking about, oversight responsibility. Members of Parliament, Ministry of Health, Austin Demby, the Minister of Health, told us that then they budget every year $90 million for critical cases, them people that are sick. This man tell we all in things they are. What's happening? At the end of the day, we say nothing. All of this money not go to people we deserve. Forget this kind of a care and love from the government, what are the constitutional duty for take care of her. So where we see members of Parliament they go work in a corner hospital. Now oversight responsibility, that is what you call oversight. To go see people are dying at corner hospital. If you don't get money, healthcare not they meet you. Why are people dying? Parliament gets a responsibility for perform oversight. But listen to this. Listen to this.
If it's because there is environment in the Public Financial Management Act that you can do environment with the express approval of the minister. But if you cannot prove,
was that done?
If you cannot prove in evidence that you've done environment, then it amounts to misappropriation.
Right.
So my point was, at the time, I haven't seen anything that shows that environment.
Let me explain what he's talking about, environment now. Let me explain that. Basically, it is the Public Financial Management Act gets provision in that Public Financial Management Act that if certain budgeted activities there, where the Minister of Finance can use money for, if something will not budget, some expenditure come way out of the ordinary, they don't be planner. For example, they couldn't use them for life, but the First Lady, Fatima Bio, when they were allocating funds directly from the Ministry of Finance, from the consolidated fund, directly to Fatima Bio, almost $7 million at the time. When they use the Public Financial Management Act for say now because they don't be budget anything, so now they didn't pull for Giddy First Lady. But where the crime comes, and this is Section 39 of the Public Financial Management Act, 4, 3, 4, and 5, where it becomes a crime, before and after the Minister of Finance use funds towards unallocated resources or expenditure, unallocated expenditure, it should go back to Parliament for approval. And these guys never went back to Parliament. So he's saying something about that on that line. That is what he's saying by environment and all that stuff. But I just want to explain that. Let's go.
It was done. So if there was no environment, it should have either a refund into the consolidated fund, or this money is carried forward and added to other oversight budgets so that oversight can
Which was not done.
Which, in my opinion, to this point, was not done.
So basically, oversight was not done. The money that was supposed to go to members of parliament, as he say, for oversight, and I'm going to talk about that. Because again, I know for those that are into auditing, where they go do audit, most of the auditors, them, if for example they travel, of course, they take care of their hotel, their lodging, depending on the area where they go. So that is something where we understand, say, apart from the fact that they're getting salaries, but because they are auditor them, then they travel, they, of course, we don't expect them for spend their own gas money, hotel bills, and stuff like that. So for me, it's even questionable why members of parliament should be paid giving something extra special for oversight committee when Sierra Leone is so small. These guys are up there at parliaments that are ill. Ministry of, say, lands as an example, and get an office in a UE building. For me, I'm just considering this job as just an extension of their job as members of parliament for go perform oversight duties. I don't think they should be getting money for that. But again, that could be debated. But the fact of the matter is, just because funds are not available, because money no day allocated towards oversight, not means the members of parliament not for perform their duties when they're getting paid salaries to do their job. What is their job? Primary responsibilities. And that is why I say again, it's an argument that we can have another day. Members of parliament make laws, members of parliament oversight, and members of parliament represent. If those are the three core responsibilities that your job comes with, why for pay you extra money for you represent? Why for pay you extra money for make laws? Why for pay you extra money for oversight? That is the basis of my argument. But that can be conversated another day. But that's just what I'm saying right now. I don't want to digress and get away from that. But I just want you guys to understand what I'm saying. But that is why they are saying they're not able for oversight and supervise, more or less. There are other ministries and departments and agencies. But this conversation gets even deeper. Let's listen to this.
And I could also say, it's in this parliament, yes, when it is good, you say it. When it is bad, you say it. It's in this parliament that the clerk has been able to advocate an increase in the budget for oversight. Let us be fair to parliament. Mm-hmm. What is given to parliament for oversight cannot do a single oversight by one committee. Imagine you give a committee of 16 members 40 million to go perform oversight.
Again, you see, that comes to my point. So just because special funds are not allocated for oversight, that is why members of parliament are not doing their jobs. That is reckless. That is the most useless thing you can ever think about. That is just not an excusable, thing that we can accept. Because again, your three responsibilities as members of parliament, the reason why you are in parliament, the fundamentals of why you're in parliament is to represent, is to make laws, the biggest one, make laws, and good laws to benefit the people, not just crazy laws that are going to ostracize and bring rebel war again our country, like the laws that they passed in 1965. Make laws to oversight, which means to supervise and to represent people. Why do they need extra money? And without these, they're not doing the jobs. So what ends up happening is people don't get access to healthcare. People don't have access to clean drinking water. People don't have proper access to the education that this SLPP is talking about, right? The judiciary is a mess. Why? Because parliamentarians that are supposed to check all these institutions are not doing their job because there's no oversight budget. This is the problem I'm telling you guys about. And I want to open up your eyes as Sierra Leoneans to these things. Again, this is why I do what I do. Listen, let's continue.
That 40 million includes their DSA, it includes their hotel fee, it includes their feeding for 16 members of parliament. If you divide 40 by 16, what will you get? You get a member of parliament receiving 1,200,000. How can you perform effective oversight with 1,200,000? So these are the things that we are saying in that parliamentary bill, that you should support parliament. If you don't support parliament,
but committees also get funds from the very institutions they go to. I know of a committee that collected about 40 million from an institution that very committee was going to investigate.
That has.
Guys, before Tawa responds to that, I don't want you to miss that. What Samuel Bangura is saying here, matter of fact, that's a crime in progress. And in a serious society, where, of course, I will not call the Anti-Corruption Commission to go into parliament, to arrest or indict members of parliament, because they don't have to be arrested per se, but they have to be indicted on charges of corruption. Because what Samuel Bangura is saying here, Salon people, I want to listen very carefully, is that the members of parliament will go supervise and oversee and audit a particular ministry, that the ministry give them money. So tell me, if me when you can watch and supervise, I don't pull money, I don't give you. Tell me how you can audit me honestly and openly and transparently. How you come and even get money for go talk what you see? If not me that the ministry don't give you money, that's corruption right there. These members of parliament in that particular committee that Samuel Wise Bangura mentioned here, these people in a serious democracy should be indicted immediately. Hey, and I know these people are SLPP, APC, NGC, all mixed together. And I know nothing is going to come out of this. But what in Samuel Wise Bangura talks so, it's a crime in progress. And therefore, those members of parliament receiving money from the ministries that they are supposed to supervise, to audit, to monitor, to check, they are receiving money from those ministries. Una see why Salon Alaki? Una see why the country they go before? Una see why we hospital them na death sentence center them? Una see why people whenever for afford for go see private doctors them and you know when not get money for go get proper access to healthcare. Una see why then they die like an animal them na the country. Una see why we not get 24 electricity today. Una see why we not get clean drinking water, pipe-borne water going into our homes in Sierra Leone. Una see why the country filthy and dirty. Una see why they need support the city council, the mayor for doing job properly, for maintaining the capital city. This is the result because we have a reckless and a useless parliament that is accepting money from ministries that they're supposed to supervise and oversight, perform oversight functions. Basically, oversight that for go audit them, check them, and they do their work them. How you go check them people there? How you go be honest in your job if these people already that they give you money? Let's continue the conversation.
Been a practice in parliament, and it is a very, very unpleasant practice because you cannot bite the finger that fits you.
Exactly.
So the more reason why people should understand the independence given to parliament in the constitution in section 74.4 that parliament should manage its own budget, because the challenge is if you don't have sufficient money to go perform oversight, you would have to rely on handouts, and the handouts will only have to come from the MDs. And if you go perform oversight on somebody that have given you some money to perform a function, what do you expect? You cannot give a thorough and you cannot do a thorough and proper oversight on that agency in the first place. And even if you do, you will be afraid to bring out the correctness of the report. So oversight, I would agree, is one thing that Parliament needs to improve on, but Parliament can only improve on oversight when the oversight funding is sufficient.
Let's you guys hear that? And that is why I say again, I like this honesty of this guy, right? But still, that does not mean he deserves another term in parliament, because the SLPP, of course, is the worst government, this particular one, and subsequently, they're the worst set of folks we've ever had in governance. Therefore, anything SLPP should not have any place near any position of authority and power. That's why this guy don't deserve to come back to parliament. But he's very honest, and I'm going to give it to him. His name is Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte, I think. I'm going to give it to him for his honesty. But fact of the matter remains, this is why Sierra Leone is rotten. This is why the system is rotten. Because the members of parliament that are supposed to supervise, audit, and check these ministries, departments, and agencies are taking monies from these departments and agencies. How are they going to be honest with their findings? But let me come to the comment here. You know, see Alusain Seri make a comment now. Let me analyze this comment, guys. Let's analyze this comment together. Let me put this comment on the screen here. Alusain Seri. Let's talk about this comment. Let's read it together. Instead of building, actually, no, Alusain, that's not what really. Oh, yeah, it's Ali Congo. Ali Congo Kagbo is what I want to talk about. Alusain, I'll get to yours. But let me talk about Ali Congo. Ali Congo Kagbo is saying, Mr. Ibrahim, ministries of labor is a mess. Lebanese and Indians are misusing and abusing Sierra Leoneans in Sierra Leone. Much more talking of our sister who went to their country. In our country, we have been treated as slaves by Lebanese and Indians. If you want to know how Sierra Leoneans working for these Lebanese and Indians are suffering, just launch an investigation. Ali Congo Kagbo, I believe you. As a young man growing up in Sierra Leone, I know this has been a systemic problem. In Sierra Leone, where foreigners are given, undue advantage and undue influence over Sierra Leonean citizens. This don't range across APC, SLPP, and since 1960, what are we country? And it's going to change. It's going to change, but it's going to take Sierra Leoneans to wise up and wake up and put an end to that nonsense. But it's going to take leadership at the end of the day from the top for fix this mess and this problem that we have in Sierra Leone. I know about this problem, guys. Believe it or not, I am totally, aware of this. But, they say, let sleeping dogs lie. And that's the best I can say to you guys. But these are some of the reasons why, again, like I said, Should I trust anybody else that I trust myself? And that is why I say I'll contest the presidency in 2028. But it's up to you guys, the Sierra Leoneans, to see who you want to put as, as leaders in front of you. Because again, these are the issues that we're going to champion with people like Dr. Samuel Kamara. Sierra Leoneans should have an edge over foreigners in our country. I don't care if you can bond it or not bond it. In America that we are, I'm telling you, no matter what, the American citizens born and bred, I'm telling you, they still have, especially the white folks, they still have that advantage over folks like us that are naturalized citizens. No matter what, I see it every day, but that's a conversation for another day. But this brother, Ali Congo, Kagbo, these are the issues that when Dr. Samuel Kamara becomes the president, these are the things we want to talk about. Sierra Leoneans should. It's in the Constitution. I'll get to that. Section 7, it talks about all of these. These are the Sierra Leoneans should have the advantage. Sierra Leoneans should live, should take care. Man, Sierra Leoneans should have economic advantage over anybody else. No freaking national. Go to Qatar. Go to these Dubai's. Foreigner goes to the country to set up a business. They have somebody over them. Guys, let me leave that because that's going to take me away from the conversation. But thank you, Ali Congo. Let me see, Alusain Seri, what you say here. And guys, normally I don't like to go through the comments because it takes me away from my point. So I'm sorry if I don't bring everybody's comment here because I really want to continue with this video. Instead of building recourse centers for the youth, where young people can go and learn more and be aware of what is going on around the world, they build the youth attire basis. That's perfect, true, Alusain. That's perfect. Where young people go sitting idle, talking about football, politics, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. And by the way, I'm gonna give somebody an opportunity to call in on this program, on this show today to talk about this. Because, but let me continue with the Parliament video. So everybody, stand by. Let me know if you want to come on live and talk via phone, not video. I'm gonna, connect my device because I have a system where you can call in actually, and we can hear your stuff over the air. If you want to talk and make your point, I will let you do that. So just stand by, everybody, especially for you guys that have my phone number, because I really don't want to put my phone number. I'm planning on getting a phone number just for this, in as much as a lot of you guys have my phone number. But if you are one person, we get me phone number, we have me phone number. If you want for calling the program, give me some time. Just let me know that you want to call, and I will let you know when you can call, all right? But let's continue with this video from Parliament, exposing the lackadaisical nature and the uselessness of this parliament, the recklessness of this parliament. Let me listen to this. I want you guys to listen to this conversation. Let's get back into this. Listen to this, guys.
For it to do that, because at the end of the day, we approve budgets. Ministry of Finance will not, in the fullness of its budget ticket envelope, disburse all the budgets. But at the end of the day, if we cannot perform oversight, and we wait until this point. For example, as we are doing this operation now, one vote will bring a report of about 100, 200 pages today, for today. What can I do to 200 pages for today? Even a genius in Sierra Leone cannot understand 200.
Guys, of course, this conversation continues and continues. But let me recognize Maluda Bangura on here. Maluda Bangura, let me recognize you for a moment. I see you're talking about our brothers in Algeria. My brother, let me put your comment on the screen here. I wish I could do something, Maluda Bangura, but my powers are limitless, limited. This is what I can do. I have limited. What I'm doing is the best I can do to advocate and talk about these things so the world hears this. Mr. Ibrahim, you have to free your brothers and sisters in Algeria. Like I said, for the past 6 months, the IOM office in Algeria calling on Sierra Leone government, they are not responding. So again, to the Salon government, you guys are not responding to the IOM, International Organization for Migration. You're not responding to them. They've been calling you because they have Sierra Leoneans stranded in Algeria that they want to bring back home. So respond to them. Maluda Bangura, that's all I can do. And I continue to say to my brothers and sisters, stop going to these countries. Stop going to these Arab countries. Stop. All right. Now that I have that out of the way, let's continue with this video. I want you guys to listen to this conversation.
Their report. We've not seen.
Even a genius in Sierra Leone
Let's listen.
cannot understand 200 pages of a report in a day.
But even when committees go out, just quickly, when committees go out, they come, they write their reports. We've not seen those reports being tabled. We've not seen any outcome of those reports, even when you manage to do oversight.
And when those reports come to Parliament, if they are tabled, that is where the parliamentarian becomes culpable. Because in section 93, it is clear, I don't know whether it's 93.5 or 93.6, I cannot remember the exact provision. But in section 93...
You know, let me do that for him. Section 93, let me pull it up. Let's do him a favor. Let me pull it up for him real quick, guys. Section 93 here. Let's see what section 93 says. Let me put it on the screen. Let me put this on the screen. Actually, let me put it on a bigger screen. I want you guys to see this. Section 93. Okay. All right, let's read it together. Let's see what section 93 is saying here. Section 93 is not sure if it's 5 or 6. It says the composition of each of the committees appointed under subsections 1 and 2 and 4 shall as much as possible reflect the strength of the political parties and independent members of parliament. All right, whilst we're doing that, let me see. For the purpose of effectively performing its functions, each of the committees shall have all such powers, rights, and privileges as are vested in the High Court, enforcing the attendance of witnesses and examining them under oath. And I think that's it there. It shall be the duty of such committee as is referred to section investigate or inquire into the active administration of such ministries. But this just gives all the responsibilities, right? But let's listen to the video itself based on for what he's saying. Let's listen to that.
Work of Parliament should serve as a major tool to inform legislation in Sierra Leone. Parliament should start 93.5 or 93.6, I cannot remember the exact provision. But in section 90, it is clear, I don't know whether it's 93.5 or 93.6, I cannot remember the exact provision. But in section 93, it says the oversight work of Parliament should serve as a major tool to inform legislation in Sierra Leone. And if we can
to serve as a major tool, let's look it up, guys. I really want to find it. Let's look it up. I really want to find that and put it on the screen here. Let's find it. Section 93. In addition, the committee shall appoint other committees, standing others. Crime may extend proposal legislation, anything containing subsection. I think you might have gotten it wrong, but let's see for the person. In addition to the committee, at the beginning of each session, let me start from the top of Parliament, but in any case, not later than 21 days thereafter, there shall be appointed from among its members the following standing committees. Okay, these are the committees. Parliament shall appoint other committees. It shall be the duty of committee referred to investigate. And such investigation inquiry may extend to proposals for legislation. Okay, I think it's subsection 3. It's subsection 3 here. Let's read subsection 3. It says, it shall be the duty of any such committee as is referred to in subsection 2 to investigate or inquire into the activities or administration of such ministries or departments as may be assigned to it. And such investigation or inquiry may extend to proposals for legislation. Yes. So it's subsection 3. That's what he was referring to. So let's get back to this. Let's listen. Let's listen in on this one, guys. Let's listen in on this one.
Cannot debate those reports. If members of Parliament, either in the committee that has laid that report, not asking for that report to be debated, or other members of Parliament cannot move a motion for those reports to be debated, that is where we become culpable. Because at the end of the day, we have to be frank. Say to thyself, be truthful. we have done our part. Thomas is saying we are selfish because we asked for pay rise. He's saying we are selfish because of the times. But these times, it's affecting everybody. You know, it's about looking at the bottom line. I agree with him 100%. And that is something we need to look at. Because if you look at the unfairness in the civil service, a permanent secretary is collecting 42 million leos as salary. And the principal deputy is collecting 1.4. 1,400,000, yes, 1,400. What do you expect from him when the man goes on leave? He's to do his job and ensure that what he was not having yesterday, he will have today. So we have to measure up in closing the pay gaps in Sierra Leone and harmonize salaries. Because at the end of the day, the same person on grade 14, members of parliament.
And that was the promise of Marabio. Matter of fact, in their manifesto, it's in their manifesto. I don't remember if it's section 30 something or whatever it is, but it's in the manifesto of the SLPP to harmonize salaries in that country. But what did they do? Political appointments, and then they raise salary for everybody, bribe, neck commission, and all this stuff. Let's listen. Continue, guys.
Parliament are on grade 13 or grade 14, I cannot remember. There are other people in the civil service on grade 14 that are collecting 60, 70 million. Members of parliament are on grade 14. We are collecting 21 million. Let us be open so people understand what we take home.
It means honorable members are wealthy. We should be coming, but continue to stay with us. Continue to stay with us. We have our content.
It's a disgrace. But again, the leaders of the opposition, they know these things. The harmonization of salary in the country, political appointees, they get more money past even these members of parliament. But again, 21 million. Compare that to teacher salary. Compare that. Members of parliament are not better off than teachers and nurses and police officers and military. Compare with the member of parliament. At the end of the year, members of parliament, the average member of parliament, they get over $50,000 easy. Over $50,000. You know, let me see. I think I have the parliamentarian salary. Let me see. Parliamentarian. Oh, man. I was looking for the other day. Parliamentarian salary. Let me see. Abbas Bundu. I think I have Abbas. Under Abbas Bundu. Now, I forget the salaries of parliamentarians. Sometimes I don't know why my documents disappear, but it is what it is. Let me see. Guys, I know I have that. Whilst I'm finding that, I want you guys to listen to this conversation. I'm going to find that, but let me let you guys listen to this conversation. Listen to this conversation whilst I find that.
Let's quickly move over to our Studio 2, where we have Honorable Dr. Umfasori Jikroma from the Opposition All People's Congress Party. Good morning and welcome to Wake Up Sierra Leone, Honorable.
Good morning and thanks for having me, Sammy Wise.
So let me quickly ask, what does the APC make of the House of Parliament for 2022? What's your assessment?
I can say, and of course, probably the public will agree with me that it's been a mixed basket. Good things on the right-hand side and bad things on the left-hand side. Of course, we've legislated a lot of laws that will benefit the people of this country. Of course, we've made laws that will stand the test of time. But unfortunately, also, as a parliament, we've also passed laws that will affect the ordinary man. So when I say it's a mixed basket, that's exactly what I mean.
So from all the conversations we've had, in terms of legislation, Parliament has gotten, I mean, a very fine mark. If that was the only requirement for Parliament to be given 100%, many people would say you get 80, 90, 95%. But there are also other constitutional requirements of Parliament. So first, we have to look at quality. Let's talk about representation.
If you're a speaker, coach, author, or consultant,
Let's talk about representation. We've seen where members of parliament, I mean, we've always clamored, we've always looked forward to having quality representation in parliament. People who can actually, we're all aware that, I mean, democracy advocates have said that parliament is not a house of technocrats. So you are there representing us, it's the house of representatives. But how has representation been, especially in this year in parliament?
For me, I think it has been strong. Of course, parliament is not a house of technocrats, but definitely you have many members of parliament, especially this crop of parliament, that are experts in their own respective fields. So, for example, when a budget is brought to parliament, or when we go into appropriations, or when we call ministries or department agencies come into parliament, and we look at their papers, of course, you have different people in that committee, especially when we're doing committee of supplies. You have different people in that committee from respective political parties with varied backgrounds. So, of course, it may not be a whole committee of technocrats in a specific field, but you have diverse fields. So, but when it comes to articulating the issues that affect the ordinary man, I think one thing that our parliament is constrained with is having the resources at the required time. The resources, human resources, in terms of having, if you look at across parliaments across the world, parliamentarians have their own staff. They have their researchers. They have their own assistant, personal assistants. Our parliament do not have that. So parliamentarians have to go and do their own research against a specific time.
Does the House itself not have a research unit to help?
Of course, the House have a research unit. But if you're talking about 146 members of parliament and the few research units that you have, how many people will be responding to the specific need of a specific member of parliament at that time?
You know, guys, let's leave that. Let me bring on screen. I'm going to talk about this. What's this gentleman they talk now? This is a member of parliament. This is my first time actually seeing him, as a member of parliament. But we'll get to him. But let me show you guys now. The salaries of members of parliament. I want you guys to, see this. Let's discuss this. Because again, they're not better past teacher. They're not better past, nurse. But this is the salary of members of parliament. And I'll continue to look for them more. Matter of fact, it was just unfortunately, I didn't put them in my folder, but I have it now. As you guys can see now. Ordinary and paramount, chief members of parliament. And this was as of 2018. So I may need an updated list. I want you guys to bear that in mind. I might need an updated list, right? But as of 2018, salary take home is 37 million leons. So I don't know where Honorable Tawa say that they paid them 21 million. And this was 2018. Salary take home is 37 million leons. And this is monthly. Right? Vehicle allowance, $13,000 per term. Okay? Medical allowance, $5,000 for year. Constituency outreach allowance, they say for a month, it's 6 million every month. I don't know if they still get that. So, matter of fact, let's see. Rent allowance, $20,000 annually. The reason why I'm pointing out these things, again, this might have changed. I would want to see an updated version. Let me calculate all this. So, 37 million, which was, then it would be about what? $3,000 maybe at the time? Okay. So since they get all of this rest of this money, it's confusing because it's in leons and some are dollar. But in dollars alone, they get about 33, call it 38. Call it $38,000 a year. And this goes allocated to rent allowance of $20,000, $13,000 for a vehicle, and medical of $5,000, right? Sitting fees, and they get 1.6 million euros for every sitting fee. Fuel, and they get 45 liters per week. Wardrobe allowance, 5,000. This was as of 2018. So if they're getting all this money, why should members of parliament be complaining about oversight money to go and supervise these ministries? We're responsible for taking care of the nurse system, the police officers, and the military. We're not going to look at them military barracks. We're not going to look at them police stations, them police officers, them barrack them. It's a piece of crap. It's a mess. These members of parliament, they get all this money, and then people away, they provide essential services to our country. Police, teachers, nurses, the military, firefighters. These people that are essential workers, no, they get this kind of money. And even with the afford they make for pay them back, so money go 2-3 months without no pay. These members of parliament are getting these much salaries. Guys, these are the things we'll talk about. This is why it's important to pay attention to these issues. But let me get this off the screen. You guys will see it. Now let me get to this gentleman. The points that he's making there, which he don't say earlier on. When we look at him from that perspective, everything is said about the fact that let's recap. So now I'll go do it me on the same page. Let's recap what this gentleman talk.
When we go into appropriations, or when we call ministries or department agencies come into parliament, and we look at their papers, of course you have different people in that committee, especially when we're doing committee of supplies. You have different people in that committee from respective political parties with varied backgrounds. So, of course, it may not be a whole committee of technocrats in a specific field.
I don't really care about all that crap.
You have diverse fields.
Let's reach to...
Parliamentarians have their own staff. Parliamentarians have their own staffs in terms of having, if you look at across parliaments across the world.
Let's talk about that. It's talking about parliamentarians have their own staff. True. In America, but you cannot compare Sierra Leone to America. You're talking about a country with a bigger GDP. So you cannot compare the two. But let's just say members of parliament, what is so difficult to do research? If I was a member of parliament, why I need staff in Sierra Leone for conducting a research? These days, the information is so available, publicly available. It's so easy on your cell phone. You can do millions of research. Why members of parliament in Sierra Leone need staff if they don't get them? Let's say we don't get the budget that we can't see. We need to pay teachers, nurses, them, police, firefighters, military. We don't even for paying salaries them. We don't for take care of healthcare problem. We get all those issues to deal with. Why should we be paying money back for members of parliament for get staff for do research for them? How much research and staff did they go do? With me this way, I don't need nobody for do research for me. It is simple. You go on Google, you look everything up, documents to the effect, everything. Members of parliament, before you go to parliament, this is why I say you should be au fait with everything that is going on across the world for going to parliament. But in Sierra Leone today, we see people even now with within the APC lower level elections. These are folks where they don't get no social media following, they don't get no platform. Look at their Twitter page, look at their Facebook page, look at their YouTube channel. They have nothing to fall back on. They don't discuss issues. They don't sabi the issues, but they want to represent in a parliament. Can you imagine the travesty? That is why this guy is complaining about that. And this guy, I think he has a PhD or he's a doctor. I don't know if a medical doctor or a PhD in something he has. Whatever that is. Very intelligent guy. Sounds very intelligent. But we'll continue for listening to his story. But no members of parliament. No, you don't need a research team. Me one came for run my own program. Matter of fact, members of parliament, them, if they're savvy enough, they came for get young man them, then they, that country, we came for put on their wings, for even do videos for them, always stop them there for teach them how to do all those things. And this is why, these are the things we're saying, you have to be broad as a member of parliament. You should be able to tackle any issue on the face of the planet Earth. If I wake up and sleep, I say, "Oh, can't discuss this conversation." You should be able to have a conversation with me on any issue across the world, across the globe. It don't matter your specialty. It don't matter what you go to school for. It don't matter. You should be broad. Your rising you should be very versatile. That is the kinds of leaders we should look for in Africa and in Sierra Leone. Let's continue with this conversation from this gentleman.
Parliamentarians have their own staff. They have their researchers. They have their own assistant, personal assistants. Our parliament do not have that. So parliamentarians have to go and do their own research against a specific time.
Does the House itself not have a research unit to help?
Of course, the House have a research unit. But if you're talking about 146 members of parliament and the few research units...
But guys, this is what we're dealing with.
Be responding to the specific need of a specific member of parliament at that time when you need urgent information. And remember, every member of parliament will be coming with an angle of the argument. So how much information will be provided to that member of parliament?
But again, That's a very lazy argument. This brother is very intelligent. I expect much from him. I don't expect for like talk this way, talk so. I mean, come on now. Again, with your cell phone, you can do your research on any topic, any issue at any given point in time. If you're dedicated, if you're not lazy. If this guy has a PhD, he has done research. It means that he writes theses. He gets masters, it means that he writes a dissertation. You know, he puts a thesis together. He has done a lot of research work. If he gets a PhD of any nature, medical doctor or PhD in philosophical, you know, whatever he has, he should not talk like this. But why? But that is why you have people like myself to come here and challenge these brothers. Somebody like Eddie said, no, my friend, any research topic, you should be able to come up with materials at any given point in time to debate those issues. And also rocket science. Let's continue.
At that specific time. So those are the constraints we face as a parliament.
It's not a constraint,
as a parliament as a whole, I believe you follow the news, you're in the media, and you know the members of parliament that articulate issues at different points of time. So, and also time is an issue. When you're talking about time is an issue because say for every given day or for every given business of the day, members of parliament will want to contribute. I'll tell you that there are members of parliament in that parliament that you've not heard from, but are very good if they are given the opportunity to contribute. Let's be fair.
And,
so,
the Institute for Governance Reform puts out a report that we have members of parliament who miraculously, when they enter the parliament, lost their voice.
Yes, because our standing orders are clear that you have to catch the eye of the speaker. So if you do not catch the eye of the speaker, then probably you will never be heard in that well of parliament.
They've not been catching the eyes of the speaker for 5 years.
Some of them. Well, at some point, like for example, at some point during the course of my term, I had to rise from my bench. I said, Mr. Speaker.
Let's talk about that for a second. You have to catch the eye of the speaker. Let us say I'm gonna give it to them. For every issue to be debated, there are 146 members of parliament. Let's say we will not be able to get every member of parliament to say something. But this is why I push social media. Members of parliament, you have a responsibility to talk to us through other means as opposed to just in the well of parliament. I'm telling you, if I was a member of parliament, don't you think Abbas Bundu would contend with me? Because let's say Abbas Bundu does not want to give me the opportunity to speak in the well of parliament, but I have my platform. I come out here and sit here and talk to my people and educate them and sensitize them on what is actually happening in parliament. I swear to God, I don't need Abbas Bundu to give me the floor of parliament. This is why we say, members of parliament, show me your Twitter page, show me your Facebook page, show me your Instagram. I have done lives talking about former President Nkrumah, Barack Obama, President Joe Biden. All of these serious leaders, they have social media platforms. Let's say as a member of parliament, you might not have time for all of these three, but let's take one. Let's say it's Facebook. Facebook is the easiest you can have. As a member of parliament, you can have a Facebook page and conduct lives, talk about issues to your constituents. Let's say you cannot even travel to your constituencies to go and see your people. Why don't you organize town hall meetings? Why don't you get town hall meeting them? Take social media, talk to your people, communicate with them. I don't need Abbas Bundu for talk about what they talk about. So I don't need the permission of anybody to discuss these issues. As a member of parliament, where are the platforms that you guys have? We should hold these guys accountable for these things. Guys, I'm not making up these facts. But when you listen to this brother, very intelligent brother, talking like this, it tells you what they need is a wake-up call. And that is why I'm here, to give these brothers a wake-up call. I've never seen this brother. I've never known about him. I don't even know whose political party he belongs as I'm talking to you guys right now. I don't know if they're APC or SLPP or whatever the case may be. But I don't know him. This is the very first time as a member of parliament at this year. And they talk with it, they talk so for substantiate the fact that we've not heard from these guys forever. Where is your platform? Show me. If anybody sabi this guy in Facebook page, send him for me. If you know this guy in Twitter page, send it to me. Please, somebody, do it for me. Because maybe I might be wrong. Maybe he has a platform somewhere. I'm just not privy for him for no Usain platform. Talk to me, somebody. Somebody tell me where it's at. Let's listen. Let's continue. And like I said, I'm going to give somebody an opportunity to call. So let me know who wants to call and talk for a few. I would really love to give somebody that opportunity. Let me know. In the comment section, I'm looking at it right now for see if somebody don't say they want for talk. All right. If anybody wants to call, to say something here, let me know. All right. But let's continue.
We've contributed. I've done my necessary research 2 or 3 consecutive years to contribute to this budget debate, but you've not called my name.
Okay, they've not called your name. Come out and talk about these budget issues. You're not committing a crime as a member of parliament. Not a court case where you say, "Baba, the case in a court, you know, for talk out." As a member of parliament, when did you come out here to voice your frustration? Hey, I've been in parliament for, a whole year. This speaker of parliament has not given me an opportunity to talk in the world of parliament to deliberate on this or discuss these issues. When have you come out here to talk about these things? When is your Twitter page to complain this? Show me your Facebook page so you complain. I want to see it, guys. If somebody have this guy in page, send it for me, let me know. Maluda Bangra, okay, so Maluda wants to talk. Okay, Maluda, hang tight. I am going to... Maluda, do you have a Twitter page? You see, this is why I say it's nice to have a Twitter page. If you get Twitter now, I can just email you my phone number. But I'm going to put my phone number anyways, and then I'll let you call. But let me grab whilst this guy continues to talk, let me grab my cell phone so I can set up the call, okay? But let this gentleman continue now.
So, not all members of parliament will get up and talk when the speaker do not ask them to talk. But I thought it was prudent at that moment to do that.
And you caught the eyes of the
speaker. And I caught his eye, and the rest was history. I mean, at least now and then he will call me to talk. So you see, so specific people you see consistently contribute to debate, not necessarily mean that they're the best in parliament, but they have the eye of the speaker, so they will continuously.
Are they being favored? Is that
no? But if the speaker is comfortable with you, that's just life.
Okay.
If he's comfortable with you, then he believes that he knows what angle you'll be coming from, and if he doesn't know a specific member of parliament, he probably doesn't know what angle you're calling from, and he will not be too curious to learn what you have to say at that specific day.
Guys, can you hear that? You hear how shameful that is? That's pathetic. But anyways, let me give you guys my number. Maluda, I'm gonna type this number. Call me on this number right here, my brother. I don't know Maluda, where who's are you there? Are you there Sierra Leone or you there? If you're in Sierra Leone, then it's +1 240. Let me just type it in here. All right. So if you're in Sierra Leone, if in Sierra Leone, Maluda, call me. I can take a call so you guys can listen to our brother. Go ahead. Let's call me on that number, Maluda. Because I want to take contribution from you guys, from everything you've listened to. I want to hear you guys. And by the way, if you've not shared the live, go ahead and share the live. Okay, go ahead and share the live now. If you haven't shared the live, go ahead and do that. All right, but go ahead and call me, and so we can take a call, so you guys can contribute as well. All right, go ahead and call me. Let me make sure I'm connected. Good. All right. So yeah, Maluda, go ahead and call, and then so I can hear you guys, and then I'm gonna end the live anyway. But I just want to hear from somebody else today. Go ahead and call me on this. I'm waiting for that call. Let me continue with this conversation. But it's sad that you can forget the attention. If you let's continue. Let's listen to this.
On that specific item on the paper.
That begs the question, out of curiosity, when you mentioned describing Parliament, I mean, as a mixed bag or mixed basket.
Yes.
What's your description of the leadership of Parliament? How would you describe the leadership of Parliament?
Well, I will say the leadership of Parliament, if you come to the plenary, the leadership of Parliament has not been antagonizing to each other. You have experienced people from both sides, or all sides, because when I say both sides, then I'll be talking about SLPP and APC only. But you have NGC and C4C, and you have independent. So for the most part, they have been cooperative. But I will not say 100% cooperative with one another, because when you talk about specific things that have happened to Parliament and in Parliament, I mean, of course, specifically what just recently happened, of which most of us are not proud of, the brawl that took place in Parliament over the laying of the paper for the PR, the district block system. Of course, that is part of the mixed basket that we are talking about, that we are not proud of what happened, but we take to Parliament what the people ask from us. We take to Parliament, like I tell people, I'm occupying that seat for constituency 114, but it means that I will be representing the views of the people of constituency 114. Not everybody from constituency 114 can come to that seat. So I'll be sitting there on their behalf. So when I sit there on their behalf, I should be listening to the majority of the voice of the people of that constituency. So whatever I do in that parliament, I'll be doing it on behalf of the people of constituency 114.
That's the ideal situation, and many have advanced arguments that. So when you represent a particular constituency, for example, when there are issues, there should always be movement, there should always be time when you go back to the people and ask for their input into some of these things. But we've not seen those things happening in these parliaments, especially 20.
Attention speakers, coaches, authors.
Hello, Mr. Ibrahim. Good morning, sir. This is Maluda Bangari call. Hello.
All right. Sorry, guys. I know sound.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Aha, Maluda. Thank you. So
Yes, sir. Good
we are
morning,
live,
sir.
my brother.
I did get you, sir. I did follow
Beautiful,
you for
beautiful.
my
Let's talk to let's talk to our sisters and brothers out there. Like I said, I get the opportunity. With this me platform that I have, I can take these phone calls. So talk to me, Maluda. Share with me what you want to talk about. Let's hear. Let everybody hear.
Okay, number one point also I want to talk about. May God bless you for the good work you do. You know, the mentor, you don't say why they follow you. Sometimes they follow you, those then as soon as I get there, they share then I different WhatsApp group.
Thank
But
you.
before they continue first of all, I will ask for Mr. Quaker and they only do well.
They are doing well.
Okay. And now, Mr. Abraham, I get two things that were raised up because so from the past 6 months, like I telling them what you say, anything for the past someone get for explain what to the government if they're serious, okay. For the past 6 months, again, we still are hearing about that. Let me show the talking, I will fall short on that. It already start from this Algeria. It already start from this last year. When you go to the office, they tell you, they say, Hello, embassy very responsible before. Algeria no get embassy, Salon no get embassy inside the Algeria and Croatia. Guinea, Mali, different French countries there, when they get embassy there, when they go to the IOM office, they tell us to go to the embassy. When they go to the embassy, they go to the LSA party. LSA party, they come to the IOM office. From there, they look for the documents for the cloud explorer in the country. But when it comes to Sierra Leone, you don't go register. They ask when I go expect it, they will go to the they don't get the problem. They're ready for good. All is Sierra Leone as a body. Problem wouldn't get at the foreign ministry in Sierra Leone and get the problem. They call the ministry need response to them. They should remember the side they own best, but the ministry need response to them. As I tell you, even this morning thing, I call the office again. The lady will pick the call before they talk the French and they speak the English. So I speak it and the English. I say, well, now, I say from 6 months now, most stuff would already start. So, but not
Malud,
effort to call me. Yes, sir.
Hold on 1 second. Let's just verify. Say the line is okay now. Yeah. Adama, welcome, Adama Barry. Is my sound okay now on my own side? I know say I be mute me mic. Sometimes I can mute me mic. I can forget say I mute me mic and then it cause problems. But I hope the sound is good. Everybody to get we loud and clear. Amina Majid, I saw your call. After Malud, I would bring you in, okay? But somebody give me, okay, Adama, good. Thank you so much. Okay, let's continue, my brother.
So I called this morning again. The lady took the call at the IOM office Nigeria. They say, my brother, I say, look to them get the problem. They say they try to call the foreign embassy in Sierra Leone. They need to respond to them. As I tell you, so 2 days ago, we lost one of the Sierra Leonean brother because of voting. You know, nowhere. Somebody tell and say, job in Nigeria, and I didn't take the vote. When you come, as soon as you enter, the first thing in Nigeria, we didn't call board. I didn't can 6 serious one. I will start this guy come on. 6 serious one. We just lost and said, this boy study. Picture they all over. So we don't do all the
Hey,
best.
so
So
rest
for
in
now, if you
peace.
say the move here, if you say the move here for go Niger, for me then go fly out in Niger. In the past more than 4 months, people will go there. We don't just go Niger. So my don't pass the 4 months to up to and then we go there. Sierra Leone they will do the book, the turn and some my na tire. Na the day pass until na be aji about the pass na the same thing. As I tell you so. Mr. Eden, so you goodness. As I tell you this next year, this 7 o'clock this night, police and car start with the street. As I tell you now, up the building, the building 16 story and 9 story, and right up at the university. And now na full time. Who want to for it from both side, the embassy is any green line. So maybe we make like to our first like to Nigeria, maybe we vote immigrants in Nigeria. We don't know why the embassy is 50 and 50 citizens. Some of you don't try them consider one reason, but we know this. Here we beg the government, maybe they will see reason. The citizens then at this Arab country between this Nigeria and Niger and Tunisia, they suffer a lot. People the man they die a lot and then there's that there. We beg the government they looking attention inside there. Also Lebanon on the other side. Here we beg.
Okay,
At this constitution we get.
thank you. Much appreciated, my brother. Okay,
Yeah.
the next person that I'm going to call is going to be Majid. Majid, you can call now. And then after Majid is going to be EJ. And then we close it for Mamadou wants to say, okay, Mamadou. Okay. So guys, for today, I'm only going to take 3 more calls. Okay. So Majid first. Majid, you can call. Matter of fact, I like call you. Get your number now. Like call you.
Hi, brother. How are you?
Wonderful.
Good evening.
Not bad, my sister. Welcome. Thank you so much. Matter of fact, let me appreciate you. I've never met you. You never met me, but of course on social media, you're one of my very fervent, followers, and I want to let you know, say I recognize that, and I appreciate what you do as well, and I appreciate everything you've been doing. So thank you so much. Okay, but go ahead. Contribute. What do you want to say?
Yes, we're calling for things to be mute anyway, but also for take this opportunity here for thank you. You put people's power cash box at the following this morning about Satalamin and the guy where it gets issue. That guy, man, I cried. Then I just listen to now. What I want me, it was very, very sad. Imagine 2 months government send a free how you call it healthcare, but somebody they go for go treat himself, and then when I tell in time don't over 2 months, get treatment, it nerve the body,
Yeah.
I'm pain one kill him. But the medication stuff now no go get now until he send money we go raise, how much is the money? 95,000 million, so something like that. That's about $5,000 or so.
Right.
This
About 5,000.
money they have funds, they have the money. I don't know why we people in the salon and the suffer, but in the Clemson and get all their money they are so now cover, but they're not able to help people. It's very, very sad. It's pathetic. For me, this is the guy can't sit on at their channel. They after they talk, then kind of thing. They will shame stuff. But look what they can say no more. What the head on well. When I tell no bar, otherwise it can cost me. I don't care. If the head on well, the speaker of the house, all thing on well, they were all can follow because
Yeah.
the people are supposed to set the record straight, and not set them straight. So who they else they for look up to? They're not going to look up to anyone. But like I said on the comment section, I just pray that God makes we live long for speak kind of like so for our debate in 2028 because I would love to see it. I would love to see it on my TV listening to somebody like because I don't learn so much. In fact, you know about the Constitution, a little bit of it. It's because of you, because you get some time where you can quote. When you say you work, you follow on the internet and you look and say, okay, now read last year, this body had a somewhat, And I also don't follow about the one today. I was reading along. So these things one they do, so not only the people in Australia when they educate, some of we know be inside the system na salon, when they educate we like we yard. Following different channels their way be to say, they do very well, Chernobyl and others, I just want to commend Roland. We pray that we get more people that like our kindness, so we get the love and passion for Sierra Leone, regardless of all the hit them where they face on social media, which of course is normal, but your focus
Right.
is never to something else, You don't focus saying you fight for the people of Sierra Leone, you're very sincere since this thing begins. That's why people will come at you and say, oh, you've been doing this for honest, you come on out there, you go protest. Yes, it's different. But like you said, I always tell people, the reason
let
why
me
you not
on that
why
point.
you not protest for mother in your you talk say you be there on
Yeah.
duty. I kept telling people he is on duty. You cannot go when you're there on a duty. People don't understand that. But the mentality again, I hope that we go try to see reason out when people in the talk sometimes, not so only because of you don't do something before you expect to make you do them again. I don't know. But anyway, go ahead and say what you want to say.
Absolutely. I mean, what I was going to say, talking about the Yanis Kroma protest, first of all, a protest is a democratic right for everybody. I never protested against President Kroma at the time. Which I protested, terrible protest. Now, when the second round of the elections in 2018, when they don't say the NGC as a party no go participate in the second round, that was when we NGC people have organized, and I go there because I was the only vocal person who gave for talk and make a meaning out of the whole thing. So I went there, to support that protest, so that the NGC would be included into the second round. I wish I had actually started protesting, but of course, giving my job and everything else, I would not be engaged in then democratic 10 and they would independent democracy, 10 years of APC. I never protested. Just wanted to make that point clear. Where again, even if I protested, it would have been my constitutional right. But because of the nature of my job, at the time when APC was in governance, I never really protested against them. Just wanted to make that point clear there. But just so you know. But I thank you though. I thank you. I appreciate what you're saying. I appreciate the fact that. Sorry?
Thank you. Actually,
Yes.
I'm glad that you cleared the air on that again today because, it's the same thing I kept telling people, he said he's on duty. He cannot go out. He cannot protest because, of course, we're all in America. We all know people in the military and the things that you guys do. Somebody's on duty. We cannot go out there and do certain things the way we don't do before. But anyway, I just want to encourage you that you have people out here that listen to you. Like we saw, I don't make difference. I will like them. We they listen to now, they follow, we they learn as we go. We cannot just be on one side. But it's better for me to open with minds them, make we receive the information and take the sense out of the nonsense. I just want to encourage people, don't give up and whatever they do you, your team and others, just close your ears, do what you want to do and do what you think is right for you because we like I can't wait to see you for 2028. The committee say eager to on the platform. I want to see you. I want to see people like Una kindness. So we're ready for push salon before and you're going to have my support as well. I just want to say that tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Amina. I appreciate you so much. Yes, ma'am. Okay. EJ, go ahead and call. So EJ, go ahead and call, and then I would have Mamadou, and then we'll keep the calls for tonight. Like I said again, it's almost 8 o'clock, and I have to go, but I just want to give folks the opportunity today. So EJ, go ahead and call. I'm sure you already have the number. EJ, if you don't have the number, Mamadou, you can go ahead and call. Mamadou Ba. Okay. Is this Mamadou Ba? Sorry? EJ, my man. Okay, let me connect you here. EJ, go ahead. Talk to me.
Yeah. You didn't get me, bro?
Yes, I did get you.
Okay. Firstly, I just want to say thank you very much for everything you've been doing.
Appreciate it.
No, it's EJ.
Okay, EJ.
It's EJ. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, sir. I just want to say thank you very much for everything you've been doing for the past few years. And I've been following you for a while now, way back 2018, with the previous general election, with the NGC movement, and I just want to say you're doing a great job, absolutely amazing job, and definitely looking forward to you contesting for the presidency, and by the grace of God, we'll be there. It's good that you're exposing this current government, and I just like the way you're delivering, and it's very, very, very informative as well to all the diasporas and people within Sierra Leone itself. By the grace of God, 2028 will be there to support you. As I mentioned earlier, I've been following you for a very long time, just to know that. But it was via WhatsApp during the NGC days, the two SIM card business and they played Pancake White back in the day. I don't know if you recall that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so even the other day back, I've been watching you live again with the big six, I call it, when you spoke about the 6 African presidents that were invited to the White House also, and how this whole current administration trying to hijack, the media, just propaganda spreading, as if Madabio went there, getting treated specially, as if he's been doing something great for that country. That's not the case. And you clearly highlighted as well the reason as to why he was there. Those 6, presidents were there for as well. As you stated, election approaching, but those individuals are there. They need to make sure they exercise that democratic right within this country. So it's good. You're exposing these individuals. You're totally exposing them, and informations are out there. People just need to go out and read it. I like the fact that you always, also using the evidence as well. You're not making things up.
Yeah.
You put up the Twitter evidence as well from Joe Biden. Everything is there. It's not hidden from the public.
Appreciate that.
So I'm really happy. Now I've got your number. As I said, I've been following you since 2018.
That's a long time.
And I currently reside in the UK. And once I finish my job, I've got 7 more years left. And by the grace of God, we'll be in Sierra Leone. I cannot wait for that debate for you to just rip pretty much everyone down and just take them to school. Because the politicians that we have there, the bunch of cronies, puppets for the Western nation, just pillaging resources from those countries and reach their families.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. Just really, really selfish. So once again, thank you very much, hey, Brian. By God in power, can 2028, you did it. By hook or crook.
Thank you, my
friend.
You
did it this Sunday.
Thank you, EJ.
I appreciate you. I appreciate
my brother,
you.
Thank you.
Really, really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Take care, sir. I'm going to save your number anyway.
I'm going to save your number as well.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay, God bless.
All right. God bless, brother. All right. So I got EJ. EJ, thank you so much. Because I know I have thousands and thousands of Sierra Leoneans out there that appreciate what I do, right? And EJ is one. So like EJ is saying, since 2018, this man has been following, what I do. You see, everything, we just have to stay, truthful and honest to what we're doing. And that's what really, really matters. One thing I know, when I look at countries like the Dubai and the Singapore and all of these other places, I know that Sierra Leone could do it as well. And that is my vision. And if these countries can do it, if Singapore today is a first world country, I know Sierra Leone could be a first world country as well. We have the resources. All we need is leaders that are willing to make sure that that resource goes to the people. And whatever it's going to take to get the people to come together and say, we're going to stop corruption. Guys, whatever it's going to take for us to stop corruption at the lowest levels and at the highest levels, we have to do it. That is my vision. And we can do it. We can achieve it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be rough, but with civic education and constant reminders, bringing the people together, let them understand why we're doing what we're doing, making sure people pay the price for committing acts of corruption. We're not going anywhere. But thank you, EJ. Thank you, everybody. I think I have one more person, Mamadou. Mamadou, if you can call me now, I'm trying to hang up, guys, on the live here. I got to go. And hopefully tomorrow I will take more calls. But, the reason why I can do calls as much because, of course, I'm not going for push me messaging. And I don't want to spend 2 hours on the live. I really can want to dedicate about, 30 to 1 hour on these lives because I need to catch up on other stuff that I got going. But let me see. I think I missed a call here. Let me see. Oh, no, it's okay. But Mamadou Ba, I think is the other person who want to get a call or get a chance to call me.
Let me use has been restricted.
Hello. Oh, okay. All right. Well, guys, with that said, I think let me leave the live here, guys. Let me go keep company with my family, get to talk to my wife and see what's happening that the host, at least let know what's in the happen before I sleep. Okay. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Share the live and we're going to come back again another day. And again, like I said, I'll try to find a phone number that I can make public where everybody go for call me because this is more like my personal phone and I don't want to be dealing with too much calls on that. And this is my work phone, so of course I wouldn't share that. But definitely I would have to find another phone number. I already get these two, dealing with these two alone, it's a pain in the butt. But I would have to find a line that I could use, for make sure I'm able to get people in follow, get these conversations and hear from Sierra Leoneans. And believe it or not, I would love to hear from some SLPP as well. I would love to take these guys on, man. But of course, with SLPP folks, if they're going to call me, I want their face to show. So if you're going to call me and say you want to talk and defend SLPP, your face should be on the screen. I'm not going to play that game with you guys. You're not going to hide under some table and can't talk smack. No, you show me your face. I want to see it. I'm going to put you in a video call. Come and can defend the SLPP. That's how we do it. But anyways, I love you guys. Take care of yourselves and have a nice evening. Mamadou Ba, I was waiting for your call. But you said thanks, bro. Well done. I'll give you an opportunity another day. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a nice evening, okay? All right. Love you guys. Love you. Thank you, Maluda, again. Thank you, Maluda, for shining the light on Algeria. Hopefully the government will hear it and they will take action. Sierra Leoneans, let's pressure these guys. They have a responsibility to take care of the people. They are there to represent the people. Government is the power of the people, the people that then get government, right? Democracy is the power of the people, for the people, and by the people. The government derives its legitimacy, its authority, and its power from the people. Section 5, subsection 2. So until we people understand all in here, we're not going anywhere. But thank you guys. Bye-bye.